He's not hiding it anymore. Our end goal is seizing the means of production. Those words just came from the man likely to be New York City's next mayor, Zohran Mamdani, socialist, Palestinian activist, Islam devotee, stands on the verge of controlling America's largest city. President Trump went nuclear this weekend, calling him a pure communist and threatened to cut federal funding if he wins. This is not just local politics. This is a test case for radical takeover of American cities. And what you're about to witness is a man so extreme, so anti-American, that even Democrats are nervous. He screams at ICE directors. He calls crime artificial, and he wants your property, so lock in. While communists plot to seize your property, smart Americans protect what matters. Patriot Bee Best teaches how bees, nature's tireless workers, build thriving communities through honest labor. Unlike socialist parasites destroying cities, bees create prosperity through cooperation and hard work. For just 17 cents daily, you can support American bee restoration while learning vital lessons about sustainability and natural harmony. This veteran-owned digital sanctuary preserves both our bee populations and our republic's values, and every subscription helps save the pollinators that feed America while you discover nature's blueprint for success. Visit patriotbeebest.com because real workers deserve support, not socialist thieves. Catch the buzz today. You'll find it linked down below. Now, President Trump just sounded the alarm on national television. A communist is about to take over New York City, and he's not being hyperbolic. Watch Trump's warning that should terrify every American who believes in private property. Watch.
I think it's very bad for New York. I don't know that he's going to get in. It's inconceivable that but he's a communist, and he's a pure communist. I think he admits it, but I can't imagine it. But let's say this. If he does get in, I'm going to be president, and he's going to have to do the right thing, or they're not getting any money. He's a radical left lunatic.
Pure communist, not socialist, not progressive communist. When Trump speaks this plainly, you better listen. Trump doubled down at the White House, warning of federal consequences if this radical wins, and his disgust is palpable, and the threat is real. Watch.
Someday gets elected. I can't believe that's happening. That's a terrible thing for our country, by the way. He's a communist. We're going to go to a communistic state. That's so bad for New York, but the rest of the country is revolting against it.
Federal funding cut off. That is the stick that Trump is wielding. Imagine New York City without federal dollars because they elected a communist. Now meet Zohran Mamdani, the man who makes Bernie Sanders look like a moderate. His platform combines the holy trinity of taboos: socialism, Islam, and Palestine. Watch him brag about hitting the trifecta of anti-American ideology while eating like an animal. Watch.
So the third holy grail of taboos in American politics, you have socialism, you have Islam, and then you have Palestine. And you are really going for the trifecta.
Let's go, baby.
Let's go. Tell me, why is Palestine a part of your politics?
When you grow up as someone, especially in the third world, you have a very different understanding of the Palestinian struggle.
Eating with his bare hands like a pig while discussing destroying America. The symbolism writes itself. This is who wants to run New York. Now, Curtis Sliwa, he knows exactly where this leads. Straight to Chicago's socialist hellhole. His warning should echo through every New York City voter's mind before they pull that lever. Watch.
I would say if you want to make your case against Mamdani, and this is clear, boil it down. Say Chicago, right, which was always considered the second or third city of importance in America. Look at what's happened with Socialist Mayor Johnson. The entire implosion of that city. Mamdani has the same platform. He has the same issues. So if you want to say, what about freezing the rent? What about free bus fare? What about handcuffing the police officers? Just take a camera into Chicago and say, you see what you got with a socialist Mayor Johnson? That's what you're going to get with a socialist Mayor Mamdani.
Just take a camera to Chicago. Brilliant. See Brandon Johnson's socialist paradise. That's Mamdani's blueprint for New York. But Mamdani isn't just another academic socialist. He's violent. Watch him actually assault police officers and scream at ICE Director Tom Homan about enforcing American law. Watch.
How many more New Yorkers not charged? Do you believe in the First Amendment? Do you believe in the First Amendment, Tom Homan? How many more New Yorkers will the charge not targeted?
Physically assaulting cops, screaming at federal officials. This isn't protest, it's unhinged aggression from a would-be mayor. His philosophy on crime should disqualify him instantly. Violence is an artificial construct, that's what he says. Tell that to victims' families. Listen to him justify emptying jails. Watch.
Oftentimes, we've even found as legislators, when we go into these courts, the term violent crime is even used when people are stealing packages. Violent crime is even used when people are accused of burglary and there happens to be a housing unit in that same dwelling. So violence is an artificial construction. And we have to be very clear that what is happening here with these district attorneys, that is violence. That is violence of the highest degree.
Package theft is violent crime, but actual violence is artificial? This man's moral compass points straight to hell. The smoking gun? His own words about the Communist Endgame. No dog whistles, no code words. Pure Marxist revolution spoken plainly. Watch.
What the purpose is about this entire project, it's not simply to raise class consciousness, but to win socialism. And obviously raising class consciousness is a critical part of that. But making sure that we have candidates that both understand that and are willing to put that forward at every which moment that they have, at every which opportunity that they're given. We have to continue to elect more socialists. And we have to ensure that we are unapologetic about our socialism. There are also other issues that we firmly believe in, whether it's BDS, right, or whether it's the end goal of seizing the means of production, where we do not have the same level of support at this very moment. And what I want to say is that it is critical that in the way that we organize, in the way that we set up our work and our priorities, that we do not leave any one issue for the other, that we do not meet a moment and only look at what people are ready for, but that we are doing both of these things in tandem, because it is critical for us to both meet people where they're at and to also organize for what is correct and for what is right, and to ensure that over time we can bring people to that issue. The ramifications of victory here is the difference between life and death for so many of our brothers, sisters, and family beyond the binary across this borough of Queens. It's the difference between having cash bail anymore or not. It's the difference between having sex work be decriminalized and not.
Seizing the means of production, ending cash bail, decriminalizing prostitution, BDS against Israel. This is communist revolution, not governance. White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt took some questions about whether Trump wants Mamdani deported, and her response was measured but clear. This radical must not win. This is earlier today. Watch.
Statement. Peter.
Thank you, Caroline. Does President Trump want Zohran Mamdani deported?
I haven't heard him say that. I haven't heard him call for that. But certainly he does not want this individual to be elected. I was just speaking to him about it and his radical policies that will completely crush New York City, which is obviously a city that the president holds near and dear to his heart.
Trump doesn't want him deported. He wants him defeated. But if Mamdani wins, all options are on the table. So who supports this madness? Transplant yuppies who've lived in New York City for 3 years and can't even articulate why. Watch this voter expose the shallow stupidity driving Mamdani's campaign. Watch.
Aside asking people what they think about the upcoming mayoral election, how long have you lived in New York?
For 3 years.
3 years. And who are you planning on voting for?
I'm planning on voting for Zoran.
Can you tell me why?
I believe he has a lot of principles that I really believe in. I like where he stands on freezing rent, making public transit cheap and free, making buses free in particular, and I really like that he stands for a lot of Gen Z beliefs.
What would you say are the Gen Z beliefs?
I'm not going to disclose that because I think I want to keep some of those to myself, but, happy to have a conversation in private.
Well, how did you hear about Zoran's platform? I know he's become, very popular with young people, Gen Z, as you mentioned. How do you think he's reached you as a voter?
Yeah, he reached me because honestly by word of mouth. So a lot of my community and my friends started talking about him, and the more I looked into it, the more I really appreciated how well thought out his platform is.
Gen Z beliefs that she won't even name. 3 years in the city. No understanding of consequences. These are the useful idiots electing communists. The pattern's clear. Radical ideology plus violent behavior plus economic destruction equals Mamdani's vision for New York. He's not just bad for the city. He's an existential threat to American capitalism in our largest economic center. If you got value from this report, tab subscribe. It's time for my final thought. So this is the moment of truth for New York City. Elect a communist who openly promises to seize private property or save the greatest city on earth. Zoran Mamdani isn't hiding his agenda. He's screaming it through the megaphones while assaulting cops. He wants your businesses. He wants your property. He wants your freedom. And Trump sees it. DeSantis sees it. Every rational American sees it. And if New York falls to communism, the domino effect begins. Los Angeles, Chicago, Philadelphia, all watching to see if Americans will actually vote for their own destruction. This isn't just about one city. It's about whether we remain a free republic or slide into socialist hell. The fact that he's even competitive proves how far that we've fallen. So here's my question. If he wins, should Trump immediately cut all federal funding to New York City? Yes or no? Drop it in the comments below. You can gear up because we're capitalists over here. Go to shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and show the world where you stand.